It's fundamental for Eacop to understand the culture of the country and the communities where it's working. We're in such a rich environment in Tanzania where there's a history of archaeology, of local cultures, local traditions, that we need to understand that in order to work with communities, and then we need to understand how we could impact on that cultural heritage and what we need to do to avoid any negative impacts, and if we can contribute to the body of knowledge that would protect that heritage for future generations.
We recommended that before the construction of the pipeline, we need to get more time to conduct archaeological detailed study through excavations, which we discovered along the pipeline. Our previous archaeological surveys along the pipeline were threefold. So we worked with the geologists, and then we also did work with the geophysicists, and then we also worked with the geotechnical team. So we were part of these teams. But we did very intensive archaeological surveys, all the way from Tanga, come to Manyara, Singida, Dodoma, all the way to Misenyi, to Mtukula. We have gone 3 times along the pipeline. We discovered a lot of archaeological sites along the pipelines. We have 4 teams, and 4 by 4, that is 16. And if we stand 20 meters apart, as we always do for systematic survey, then we're going to cover the entire area. And then we move from there.
We do archaeological surface survey first to get a picture of what is on the surface. Some materials are not buried as other materials due to earth formation processes like transportation, weathering, erosion. So some materials are always left on the surface. So archaeological surface survey helps to recover those materials and record them.
Subsurface survey is the method of detecting archaeological material which are buried under the ground. At MCPY9, we already set or started excavate or set an ST pit. According to international standard, is the pit of 1 by 1 meter and 1 meter depth, and we are excavating by using a shovel.
The level of the surveys which we did for Eacop is intensive and extensive and unique because they have helped us, discover all these sites. The first thing that we are going to do this morning is actually to set up excavation trenches. We have started doing the excavations, and we hope in 14 days time will be done with maybe not less than 16 trenches here, because what we are doing here is actually total excavation so that we recover everything that will help us is to reconstruct the human culture of this area and of the people who lived here in the past.
The cultural impact assessment that takes place after excavation is the analysis of the materials. We do analysis to know the time of the materials, the culture of the people who use the materials, so as to construct the past of that area.
Hii sehemu kuanzia maeneo haya kwenda hivi, kuna zana za mawe za mwisho, wanaita kwa lugha ya kukopa later Stone Age culture. Kwa hiyo tuna utamaduni. You have to involve people along the pipeline, for instance, in the project areas through public archaeology. People have to know. You have to raise the awareness.
Kuna zingine ambazo zilitumika kama nyembe. Kwa mfano kama hii ni mawe yale ambayo walikuwa wanaleta kwa ajili ya raw material, kama malighafi.
Huu mradi kazi zake inavyofanya ni nzuri za uhakika. Inamopita mote inahakikisha hainyanyasi watu, haibii watu. Wanapochokonoa hapa ni shamba langu.
Kwa leo tumeanza kujifunza mambo ya zamani, na watoto wetu tutakuja kuwasaidia pale mbele. Wakiwa wapi darasani wanajipatia elimu yao.
Wamenipa na kumbukumbu za kuwa nawaza kwamba kumbe wazazi wa zamani walikuwa wanaishi hapa.
The purpose of illustration is to preserve the way the artifact is. Because if we are talking about history, we do not have to do it otherwise, to say otherwise about the history. So even in the artifacts, we have to draw, to do the illustrations, so as to get the exact measurements.
Kitu ambacho tunakiona cha sasa kwa mpwaruzo au kunani kuvunjika au kitu gani hatuonyeshi, tunaonyesha uhalisia wake kama kilivyo hapo mwanzo.
We have already recovered a lot of lithic materials, a lot of later Stone Age lithic tools, raw materials and debitages, which is an indication humans in the past, about 50,000 maybe to 10 or 5,000 years ago, lived here or worked here, or they were processing or making their tools for various socio-economic activities in their past.
In undertaking rescue archaeology to preserve those artifacts, studying them and working with the National Museum and the national government, hopefully that will bring a greater level of understanding for the history of the country where we're working, and in that way we can contribute to understanding the past and the future of Tanzania.
The Cultural Heritage Impact Assessment, which we are doing for Eacop, is the unique and best that I have ever done. Now, Eacop is actually given very high credit and considered the importance of using mainstream archaeological methods to reach this end.